Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So obviously Emily Norris has done her new mum tag and I thought I'd give it a shot. I thought the questions were quite interesting and it's always good to know a bit more of people and get more advice and things. So I've got 15 questions for you, got it on the iPad, and I will get cracking. So question number 1, favourite mum hack. I would say it has been like prepared the night before, trying to be organised as much as possible, bags packed. I don't always follow it, I find it really difficult, but I try my best to have things organised, and then that way it's really easy to get up in the morning because I'm a working mum. I work 4 days a week, so I have to be up, get myself ready, I have to get Olivia ready, and I have to be out the door by probably 7:45, sort of latest, to make sure that I can get Olivia dropped off and I can get to my work on time. So definitely kind of being organised and preparing. Question number 2, most embarrassing mum moment. I think that for me was when I was feeding Olivia. Olivia's my 1 year, almost 2 daughter. I was breastfeeding her at the time, and I was with my mum and we were in the shops and she was just crying, and I just thought I'm gonna have to stop. And we were in Matalan and I was like, where am I gonna do this? So I literally sat on the display bed and fed Olivia. I really don't know if anybody knows, you know, when you're just like, I'm gonna keep my head down, I'm gonna get this done and we'll get out of here. But you know, it was kind of necessary. I did have a cover, always fed with a cover, and kind of managed to manoeuvre her, and that kept her happy. But yeah, that was quite an embarrassing moment. Question number 3, what part of the day do you love the most? I would say, as I say, I'm a working mum, so 4 days a week it's quite hectic because you're out in the mornings, you're working and whatnot back, and then before you know it's bedtime. But when I'm not working, I've got a Friday off and we've taken to getting up in the, like Olivia will get up at 6 o'clock, so she's such an early riser. I think, well, what's the point of getting up so early, we'll just come down and sit. So we've taken to getting up, she comes through and we get back into bed and we just chill out, and it's just really nice. You know, she watches TV, I might catch up my phone and we'll have a play and I'll tickle her and giggle and we'll laugh and, you know, tease her, and it's just really nice, and it's just a nice moment. That's definitely probably my favourite one. Question number 4, what part of the day do you like the least? I would definitely have to say trying to get organised and get out the door. Usually I don't get Olivia dressed till the last maybe 10 minutes before we leave, maybe 5 minutes before we leave. It's always kind of the last thing I do, just because, I don't know, just because it's just the easiest thing to just leave her in her pyjamas and play and I can get ready. And I always put her on the toilet, so the last kind of thing to do is get her dressed, and she's just sometimes a nightmare, especially at the moment. It's just that toddler stage where they're just like, I'm going to be bored and I'm going to just fall down, I don't want to sit on your knee, and I don't want to put on my trousers, and I don't want to put on my shoes, and it's like, oh, I need to be out, I've got my work. You know, I can't be late. Just that sort of, you know, when they're faffing around and you're stressed because you know they need to get out, and they can almost sense it, and the slower they go, and oh, it's just, that's definitely a stressful time. Let's see, question number 5, the worst thing someone said to you whilst you're pregnant. If you don't know, I am currently pregnant with baby number 2. I've got obviously one almost 2-year-old daughter, and I'm having a boy this time. I don't really remember anything specific with Olivia other than obviously I was really big, which I was. I think the sort of worst thing was actually this week. It was actually at my work, someone just went, oh, you're belly, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm almost halfway pregnant at the moment. I'm 18 weeks, I'm halfway through pregnancy, I'm this is a second pregnancy, so things obviously come on quicker. You just kind of want to go, well, yes, I'm growing a baby in there, it needs somewhere to move. But anyway. Question number 6, baby name that you didn't agree upon. So generally me and my husband picked a name quite easily. There was a couple that he suggested I didn't like, and there was a couple that I suggested he didn't like, but the one that really stands out is Nathaniel. I absolutely love that name as a boy, but Craig just doesn't like it at all. And had, well, obviously I'm having a boy, but we've got a boy for a name, but I really would have liked Nathaniel, but it's not to be, unfortunately. Question number 7, do you co-sleep? No, Olivia will not really sleep with us at all. I find that if we're there, she is really distracted from sleeping, and she shuffles about and moves, and then I can't sleep, and then she's not sleeping, so I find it's easier just to put her in our bed, and she'll sleep no bother. When she was younger, as a baby, there was a few times where I was just absolutely exhausted, and I did have her in the bed. You know, we did have co-slept. I just don't really do it now because Olivia doesn't want to. So it was nice. I didn't really have any problems with it. I wouldn't have really done it all night unless she was maybe ill, but generally it was like maybe halfway during the night when she just wouldn't settle, and I was just like, I'm too exhausted to even think about this, let's just put you in next to me. Question number 8, something you have bought but never used. That one was quite difficult to answer because there wasn't really anything that really sprang to mind that I bought and didn't use. I think I kind of used everything that I bought. There's 2 things that kind of maybe just makes me think, well, I didn't really actually use them a lot, but I got a lot of it. So that was like bibs and muslins. Like I was really lucky with Olivia. She wasn't a sicky baby at all. She's not a dirty baby, and bibs and muslins were hardly used. So I have thrown out a lot of bibs and dribble bibs that I've never really had much use out of them, and muslins, I've kind of used them a bit more as bibs as she's been like eating, you know, a bit older, because it's quite a nice size. You know, some of the little bibs are maybe, you still can get mess on them. Yeah. It's probably something that a lot of mums would use, but unfortunately, but just the way Olivia was, we didn't really use an awful lot of it. Question number 2, 2 hospital must-haves. So 2 things that you would keep in your hospital bag for taking to the hospital. Definitely big black pants, you know, anything to be comfy when you've got pads on and you're always a bit tender down there, so that definitely is a must. And probably snacks. Obviously you're depending on how long you stay in the hospital for, it's nice just to, if you're peckish, sometimes you just need that bit of energy, so it's good to just have snacks on hand, and then you don't need to stress if like nobody's there, you don't need to stress about going to get anything or that, so definitely snacks. Question number 10, are you a routine mum or a go with the flow mum, and what does bedtime look like? So I think I'm a bit of both. Olivia definitely has a routine where she'll get up in the morning, she has her snack, she'll have her dinner, and you know, she has other snacks, she has nap times and bedtimes, but I'm quite relaxed in that. I guess maybe because I work, you know, like bedtimes, she kind of flitters from 7 o'clock, 7:30, sometimes almost 8, depending on when we decide to go upstairs. Because obviously I work, I don't get in the house till 6 o'clock, so we kind of just play, you know, we'll sometimes won't give her tea till then. It just really depends. I'm not like, oh, she must be in bed by 7:30. I just find it, you know, she's got a pretty good routine. She has a rough routine in place, so a wee half hour and a half hour there out of that is not a huge deal. And what was the other question? It was, what does bedtime look like? It's quite relaxed. Sometimes I give her a bath maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I give her a bath 2 or 3 times a week, and if I don't want to wash her hair but I want to give her like a nice wash, I'll just give her a shower, and she quite likes a shower, and then we just like get ready for bed, get in her pajamas and get into her bed, and I read her a story, and then I just leave her and she'll just fall asleep, no problem. So it's quite relaxed, there's no stressing over it. She's really good at falling asleep on her own. Question 11, what type of labour did you have and what pain relief did you choose? I gave birth naturally, however I was pushing for a long time, so it was like 2 hours, and they got the consultant in and I was just exhausted, and she was quite far down, so they asked if I wanted help, and I did say yes. So I got offered ventouse, but unfortunately the ventouse machine wasn't working. It was like wasn't getting air in, and the cap was just slipping off. So I did actually give birth to Olivia without really any assistance, but they've classed my birth as a ventouse birth, but it's not really. And pain relief, I just had gas and air. I think I'd paracetamol prior to really things getting started, and then I had gas and air, and I had a TENS machine, but I didn't really have, I didn't want morphine. I told my husband to make sure I do not get morphine, and I just flat out refused, did not want an epidural. I'm absolutely petrified of it. I don't know what it is, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. Question number 12, have you ever been mum shamed? Not directly so far. I'm sure there's people who've made various comments, I think judge you, but I've never actually felt that I've been shamed as a mum at the moment. I think the only thing that really did stress me out that I was going to get judged a lot for is that I potty trained my daughter early, and we did it at 18 months, and I don't really have a huge amount of online presence, so I wasn't getting a lot of backlash for it, but certainly I was worried that if I did it, people would just be like, why are you doing that? That's not the standard thing to do. But we've been really lucky in that Olivia is almost 2 now, and she's been potty trained since she was 18 months, so very, very lucky. Question number 13, what are the biggest challenges you have faced since becoming a mum? There's a few things. I think weaning was a huge challenge for me. I think I'm just so I get so worked up about food, if they don't eat food, or why are they not eating food. And even now, like Olivia used to be quite a really good eater, now she's really fussy, and it really annoys me when I make stuff and they don't eat it. So I think that's definitely a challenge. Also, like relationships, me and Craig have had to really like come together and try and be a team, and I found that really difficult, going from like 2 people who kind of just think about the other one and kind of have their own life and their own issues, and all of a sudden there's just this one person comes in and this baby, and you've just got to put all your focus on that, and you do feel like certain relationships get like pushed to the side, and it's really hard, and I think you really have to work at it to make it you know, to make things better. And the other thing that I've had to deal with, I think, is loneliness, because I think as a mum, it is like, it was obviously something I've wanted for a long time, but as I say, things like friends come and go, and you know, like all my friends all my really close friends live far away, and I've just really found it tough to sometimes like just sort of like, sometimes you feel like the 4 walls are just the only scenery you get, so sometimes it's hard that way. almost there. Question number 14. The best bit of advice you've received and the biggest piece of advice you could give to a new mum. I think the best piece of advice I got was sleep when baby's sleeping. Obviously it doesn't quite happen now. You know, I've got a toddler. I get maybe an hour, hour and a half at most, and it's like, right, what can I do? What can I get done at that hour? But when they're little and, you know, they're newborn and they're sleeping, I think it, you know, get the sleep. Definitely get the sleep. The advice I would give to somebody is to enjoy the newborn days, because I think as a new mum, it's easy to sort of think, God, this is so hard, I'm so tired, do I have to feed this baby one more time, you know, I can't keep my eyes open, and it's really such a big change and it's so hard. But looking back, compared to like watching a toddler, I think, God, I could just have those newborn days again. And obviously I'm gonna get it, but I think really enjoy them. Just enjoy the time off your work, you know, get the help from family and friends, just take it and enjoy the time with your baby, because once they're up and moving about, it's just so manic and it's just like constantly running around after them, and it's just a whole new ball game. So yeah, enjoy the newborn days. Last question. Who's your mum crush and who do you tag? So I've got probably 3, I would say. I would go for Sarah from This Mama Life, because I don't know what it is, I just feel like I relate to her quite a lot. She's such a normal, down to earth person. I just really like her. Obviously Rebecca Meldrum, I just think she's a different person these days. She's done amazing, like, and she's from, what, just 2 hours away from me. Just watching her, how she's come on so much from where she started, and seeing her book and everything, and all her gym stuff she's doing just now, and working on her mental health. I think she's done an amazing job. And lastly is Charlotte Taylor. I just really like Charlotte. She's such a down-to-earth mom. I just think she'd be somebody you should just like be ace to be as your friend. There's no like, there's nothing, you know. Yeah, so that's probably my 3. In terms of who I tag, I'm not going to tag anyone. I'm just going to say, if you want to do it, I will put all the questions in the down bar below, and you can always send it to me, and be interested to see all your questions. It would be interesting to see all your answers. So that's it for the mum tag. I've really liked doing this. It's been quite something that I've kind of had to think about. It's not been like easy ones to answer. It's a great tag from Emily Norris. She's also great as well. I mean, she is the queen of hacks. But yeah, so I hope you've liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you are new, please hit the subscribe button. If you've not been around here before, if you've gotten this through the tag, my name's Shona. I have a almost 2-year-old daughter called Olivia, and I'm pregnant with my second baby, who is a boy, due in August. So about, where are we at? It's about 5 months, I think, something like that. So it's really exciting. I do lots of like vlogs and hauls and mum advice, and you know, just lots of like little bits and pieces. So would love you to stick around, so hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you the next time. Bye.